Dee's retiring, so to celebrate, I'm taking our parents to France starting today. I'm borrowing your platinum card for the trip, going to live it up on your credit card. What a trip. What are you talking about? Just what I said. No, I don't get what you mean by just what I said. Please explain. We need to hurry. I get it. We'll go soon. Sorry, I have to move on now. I'll hear the details when I get back. Just one thing, though. The credit card won't work. Huh? My jobless husband Parker took my credit card to take our parents-in-law on a trip. I put up with a lot from Parker, but this seems like the perfect opportunity. I'm going to make sure Parker learns a lesson, and when he returns from the trip, he'll have some big regrets. I'm Layla, a 32-year-old company employee. After graduating from a prestigious university, I got a job at a major company and have received good evaluations. Despite being only 32, my income is enough to support Parker, who doesn't work, and a child if we had one. But that's hypothetical. We have been married for 2 years and don't have kids yet. We're thinking about having one soon, though. Blessed with a good job and income, I should be happy in my newlywed life, but I'm not. The part about having a child is hypothetical, but Parker not working isn't. I'm not hungry for dinner because I ate snacks. That's fine, but what about your job search? I didn't go for an interview today, just stayed home looking at job websites. Parker quit his job a year ago and has been job hunting since. To be precise, he's been working part-time but doesn't stick with any job for long. He starts a job, quits soon after, relaxes for a while, then looks for another part-time job. You're looking at part-time jobs again, aren't you? I'm looking at both full-time and part-time. Why don't you stop looking for part-time jobs and focus on finding a full-time position? I know, but there is a right time for everything. I wish Parker would find a steady job, but there is a reason he can't be pushed too hard. He quit his last job because of a conflict over work policies with his boss. That boss was notoriously difficult in the office. Parker stood up to the boss as the office representative, backed by his colleagues. But when the conflict escalated, his colleagues sided with the boss, not with Parker. As a result, Parker lost his boss's approval, felt betrayed by his colleagues, and found it hard to stay, so he left the company. Parker, dinner's ready. Can you bring it here? After quitting, Parker became reclusive, staying in his room. After about 2 weeks, he started coming out and helping with household chores. I'll do the dishes. Really? Thanks. Then it's all yours? Yeah, I've got nothing but time. Joking about that, Parker smiled, but it didn't seem genuine. Yet, after another 2 weeks, he started job hunting. I have an interview today. Is it your top choice? Yeah, I'm going to get this job and start over. I'm rooting for you. Do your best. A month after quitting, Parker began job hunting in earnest. But even after a month, he couldn't find a job. Why am I always rejected? Damn it. It's all my previous company's fault. Don't get frustrated. You'll find something good. Of course I'm frustrated. I did nothing wrong. Parker might not be entirely blameless, but what happened at his last job wasn't entirely his fault either. Still, quitting because of interpersonal issues doesn't look good to potential employers. It's like I can't do anything right anymore. That's not true. You have an interview tomorrow. Let's work on your resume. It's pointless. I'm not going tomorrow. Repeated rejections wore Parker down, but after a while, he became defiant. One day, I came home to find torn-up resumes on the living room floor. Knowing the interview didn't go well, I chose my words carefully. Can you throw that trash in the bin? I'm done. Done with what? Job hunting. We can live on Layla's income, right? I don't need to work. Indeed, we could live on my income alone. Some people don't work and do a great job as a full-time homemaker, but that's not Parker's situation. He's just avoiding unpleasant realities. I understand his reluctance to work after the bad experience at his last job and the unsuccessful job hunting, so I decided to be patient with Parker for a while. Parker, you still haven't found a job. What's your plan? I've worked hard before. This is just an extended break. I'm not just resting. I'm studying for the future. That's good to hear. Living near my in-laws' house, Parker's mother Mila and father Nicholas started visiting us more often after he quit his job. They were probably worried about him. Hearing that Parker was preparing for his next job, they seemed relieved. but that was a blatant lie. The beer will run out today. Can you buy some on your way home? It's running out again? You drink too much. Try to cut down a bit. Fine, I won't ask you again. I'll buy it myself. Parker wasn't studying or job hunting. He spent his days watching TV and drinking beer. He probably didn't want others to know he was unemployed. If I told my in-laws the truth, it might hurt Parker too much, so I decided to stay silent about whatever excuses Parker made. But he stopped job hunting for over 3 months. I finally decided to speak up. Parker, maybe it's time to start job hunting. You seem more settled now. What? It's been less than half a year since the incident at my last job. You want me to work again after what happened? I just thought the break was a bit long. Stop nagging. You can't understand my feelings since your job is going well. I have my own struggles, you know. Everyone has work problems and relationship issues. We all try to solve them. Let's work through this together. I get it. I'll look for a job, okay? Parker walked out in the middle of the conversation. My words seemed to have hurt him, but him agreeing to job hunt seemed like progress. I decided to apologize when he was feeling better. I got a job because of your nagging. That's great. Where? At a nearby supermarket. So you'll need to learn and work hard, right? It's just part-time. No need to work too hard. Part-time or not, even part-time is a job. Do you have a problem with that? I wanted to say something to Parker, but maybe even a little work could be a step to his recovery. I decided to watch and see. I'm home. Parker, you're back. How's the job? I quit the supermarket part-time. Why? It hasn't been that long. A college student there was being bossy, telling me to always put the vegetable boxes at the bottom in storage. It felt like harassment. That student was likely just teaching Parker the job. In the workplace, even a college student is a senior. Parker kept finding and quitting jobs, unable to stick with any. So Parker has been unable to keep a job for long, and it's already been a year. Parker, what job are you doing now? I'm working part-time at a pub. I've never worked in food and beverage before, but it's interesting, and I think I finally found my calling. Really? That's great. But isn't the income from a part-time job in a restaurant kind of low? That's fine. I'm currently apprenticing, aiming to go independent. So, you plan to own your place someday? Exactly. The income's small now, but I'm working hard for my goal. Then take this. Treat yourself to something nice for once. Parker still puts on a good show in front of his parents, but as always, it's all lies. He quit the pub job 3 days after this conversation, lying and even taking allowance from his parents. This time, I couldn't help but feel disappointed in my husband, so I decided to be a bit firmer than before. Hey, Parker. Later, please. I'm at a good part in the movie. You can pause it. I grabbed the remote control from the table, paused the movie, and forced a conversation. It's just pressing when you pause at the best part. What is it? Parker, you're 35, right? You know that's prime working age. Don't you think about the future? Spending all day at home, drinking, and just watching TV? The future? There are plenty of 35-year-olds not working. Not working? Many people enjoy life without a job. True. Work isn't everything. But those people have something else they're dedicated to. Do you have something like that? Yeah. You're upset about me not working. I'll look for another part-time job. Parker seems intent on only working part-time. Considering his reasons for leaving his job and his struggles with job hunting, I've been careful not to hurt him. But it's time for Parker to bounce back. I need to be stricter. One day at work, I got a text from Parker. Dad's retiring, so we are going to France to celebrate. Starting today, borrowing your platinum card. Got to splurge on your credit card. I panicked and called him immediately. What do you mean, a trip? Just what I said. I don't get it. Just what I said? Please explain. So many things are wrong here. It's fine to celebrate Nicholas's retirement, but he should have consulted me before using my money and borrowing the credit card. More like stealing. And why am I paying for a trip to France that I'm not going on? Parker's probably bragging to his parents, claiming the money is from his savings. My credit card? Thinking about it infuriates me. But one thing Parker said catches my attention. You said you borrowed a credit card, the one from our house? Yeah. Why? I do have a platinum card. Some people think you need a high income for it, but that's not true. Credit history, stable income, and other factors matter, and it's attainable in your 30s. The annual fee is high, but I use it for the benefits and points. However, that credit card is in my wallet. So you took the credit card from home? Yeah, so I'm counting on you for the payment. Parker, elated about his trip to France, is speaking to me in a provocative tone. I have been patient with Parker for a long time, but this seems like a good opportunity. Parker thinks he's clever, taking my credit card and being all cheerful, but he's in for a surprise. What are you doing? We need to go. Got it. I'm coming. Sorry, I need to move on now. I'll hear the details when I get back. Just one more thing. That credit card you took won't work. What? That can't be right. It's in Lila's name and the expiry date is this month. It's short, but it shouldn't be a problem. You're lying, right, Lila? You're lying to stop me from using the card, aren't you? Such a lie is easy to see through. Yes, it expires this month. That's why I have already received a new credit card. What does that mean? So, I have 2 credit cards to use for a while now. Sometimes with my credit card, when the new one is activated, the old one stops working. And I've already started using the new card, so the one you took won't work. What? You're kidding, right? You think it's a lie? If you don't believe me, I can send you the URL to the credit card website, or you could just try using the card. It would be amusing to see you try to pay with a card that doesn't work. This credit card really won't work? Hey, hurry up. I hear his parents calling him from the background of the phone call, but Parker, realizing the credit card won't work, seems too flustered to hear them. What should I do? I told them I'd pay for everything except the round-trip travel. Oh, they covered the flight? Yes, Dad felt bad about having all the trip costs covered. What should I do? I'm about to take a cab, and I don't even have money for that. That's not my problem. You said you would pay for everything but the flight. If so, using my credit card in the first place was wrong. Pay with your own money. How can I? I don't have any money. Right, Parker. You haven't been working. Seriously, it's your fault for trying to look good, taking your parents on a trip without money. I'm at work, so I have to hang up now. I just wanted to tell you about the credit card. Wait! I hung up and returned to work. Parker, unable to pay even for the cab, will have to be honest with his parents. That night, after I finished work, I got a call from Mila. I heard from Parker. He tried to pay with your credit card and lied about working. Sorry for the trouble. No, don't apologize, Mila. I'm sorry for the inconvenience about the credit card. Are you okay with the money? We'll cover this trip's cost when we get back. I'll make Parker apologize and find a job immediately. I'm sorry, Mila, but I'm considering divorcing Parker. Divorce? Because of this? It's part of it. But Parker has been taking money from me for a while. What? I stopped giving Parker money to curb his drinking. He started a part-time job and bought his own alcohol, but the salary from part-time work shouldn't be enough for daily drinking. Parker was taking money from my wallet to buy alcohol. Parker repeatedly took money from my wallet to buy alcohol. He repeatedly stole amounts ranging from $14 to $40. Over a year, the sum became significant. I hadn't been strict with Parker, hoping he would eventually turn things around. But when he stole my credit card for his trip, it wasn't just about $42 anymore. This leap in the amount he took convinced me that he had no intention of improving. I respect your decision. Should I tell Parker about the divorce? Could you just tell him I want a divorce? We'll discuss the rest when he returns home. About an hour later, the next morning, after my call with Mila, Parker called. He must have heard about the divorce from Mila, but I had asked her to wait until he was back to discuss it. Too exhausted, I decided not to answer his call. The next morning, after returning from work, I found Parker at home. He had cut his trip short. I'll work properly now. Please don't leave me, he pleaded as I entered the living room and saw Parker. He immediately apologized. His regrets seemed sincere but came too late. He had a whole year to change, yet still asked for another chance. I had warned him repeatedly. yet he squandered every opportunity. I'm not going to give Parker another chance because he gave up on me. My mind is made up. Can you leave? Please don't say that. If you don't leave, should I move out? Only if you can afford the rent here. Parker fell silent. He didn't even have the money for next month's rent, let alone an income. My words and the reality of the impending divorce made him realize the severity of his situation. With nothing to take, Parker seemed to be leaving the house, probably heading to his parents' house. I thought about asking if he had money for transportation, but Parker isn't a child. He should manage his own affairs, money or not. I sadly watched Parker leave the house. After leaving the house, Parker went to his parents' house. Later, I received a call from Mila. My parents-in-law let Parker stay for one night, but then asked him to leave the next day. They thought he might become too reliant on them if he stayed. Creating a situation where he must fend for himself was perhaps their intention. It must have been painful as parents to send their son away. However, they made a tough decision for Parker's recovery. Kicked out from his parents, Parker came back to our house pleading with me. Please help me. I've got nowhere to go and no money. That's the result of your own actions. You need to handle it yourself. Everyone deals with their hardships. Maybe sometimes it's necessary to ask for help, but all you have done in the past year is abandon your responsibilities and do as you please. I didn't let Parker into the house and turned him away from the doorstep. The divorce eventually went through. Parker was reluctant, but with the support of his parents, it happened quicker than expected. I don't know what became of Parker, but he's probably still job hopping and making excuses. I thought I would feel lonely without Parker, but I didn't. I had been stressed by his attitude and always careful not to hurt him. Not having to cater to him anymore, I have been living more comfortably. I was unconsciously burdened by our life together. I'm relieved I didn't get dragged down with him. Now I can live without having to accommodate anyone else.